biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts. So think big and motivate yourself to win and achieve more. A very good morning, my dear students, and welcome back to yet another session of your English class. So, in my previous class, I had just given a small a small introduction to the next poem, that is The School Boy, written by William Blake. I had just summed up about what are the thoughts of William Blake, what are the thoughts of William Blake about the about education, about the formal way of education. And I had also read out the poem for you and given an introduction about William Blake, his songs of innocence, songs of experience, and all that. So, to speak about the schoolboy, this poem was written in 1789 and it comes under the songs of experience. Okay, uh, let me just show you the original picture of how the schoolboy, the poem Schoolboy, was written. So this is the original script. Okay, the picture may not be very clear. Okay, I just want you all to see how the poet had written the poem in such a way. You can see the creepers and the vines that are here at the edges of the poem. That all these things suggest how these children have to grow up amidst nature, not confine themselves in the concrete school walls. So, as the creepers are growing free, the poet also expects the school children, the school going children, to grow free and learn a lot of things from the nature. Okay, so this is the original script of the poem, The Schoolboy. So I had already read out the poem for you all. There are totally 6 paragraphs, okay, in the whole of the poem. So I will be taking up two paragraphs. I am going little slow so that you have to understand what the poem is really about, because you will definitely get a 6 marker question. So I will be going a little slow with the poem. Okay, so after this you can ask your, I mean after the session you can ask your doubts. So into the poem. The main theme of the poem is showed as the sorrow. The schoolboy is completely filled with sorrow. Why? Because the thought of going to school on a summer morning is making him feel sad. But he has the obligation to go to a closed space, but he wants to go outside. So he is forced to go to school. He is obligated. He must go to school in order to get a certificate, the educated certificate. But what he chooses is he wants to be out amidst the nature. Another theme is nature. So the other theme that we can see here is the nature. So what does nature symbolize? Nature actually symbolizes freedom. So nature, the freedom that it represents for the boy and the oppression of the class. So when you are outside, you actually feel very free. You can do whatever you want, you can play, you can jump. But when you are confining yourself, when you are forced to go to a school, you are forced to abide by the rules and regulations that are put forth. So that is what is being told by the poet here. And the poem is told from the perspective of a young schoolboy. So the speaker of the poem is a young schoolboy, but the ideas of the schoolboy is not of his own. But here the poet is using this character of the schoolboy in order to convey the message whatever he feels. Okay, so the poem is told from the perspective of the young schoolboy who feels trapped in the monotony of the everyday attendance of his studies. He speaks with the conscience of an older man, projecting the emotions and beliefs of emotions and beliefs. So, as you go deep into the poem, you will understand how, as children, how these children are forced to go to schools. Okay, though it is not. Though it is compulsory to go to school, the schoolboy is not obligated, he does not want to go. So how is it being brought out through this poem is what you will be studying. So going into the lines. The Schoolboy, written by William Blake. The Schoolboy. So this is the first uh, 5 lines of the poem. Okay. I love to rise in a summer morn. So what does summer suggest here? Before going to the lines, I want to tell there are seasons. There are seasons that are represented. So each season has something important to tell. Okay. By the end of the poem, you will understand. So, I love to rise in a summer morn. Morn here refers to the morning. I will write the meaning for you all. Okay, he says, I love to rise on a summer morning. Everybody loves to rise early on a summer morn. Morn here is the archaic way of telling morning. Okay, morn, M-O-R-N, morn means morning. So the schoolboy begins telling the readers that he loves to rise early on a summer morning. Okay, nobody likes to get up early on a rainy day, but to get up on a summer morning, the boy says he is very happy. Why? He states, when the birds sing on every tree. So, if you note the words birds, tree, everything represents the nature. Okay, so he says, I love to rise, I love to get up on early on a summer morning just to watch the birds singing on every tree. So early morning, if you get up around maybe 5:30 or 6 o'clock, all of us get to see the sight of the birds chirping on every other tree. So that is really a pleasant sight. So that is what the boy says. He is enjoying amidst the nature. He says, the distant huntsman wins his on. So the huntsman here refers to the hunter. So the hunter says, or the hunter here represents how this hunter is free amidst the nature. Though he is a hunter who is hunting, but still he feels free amidst the nature. So he says, from a very distant place, he can hear the huntsman, the hunter, blowing his horn. And the skylark sings with me. The skylark is a kind of a bird that sings. Okay, it's a kind of bird which chirps early in the morning. So not like unlike the nightingale, skylark is something different. So, oh, what a sweet company. So you may get a 1 marker question. Whose company does the boy enjoy? So you can write, he enjoys the birds singing on every tree, he enjoys the company of the huntsman, and he also enjoys the company of the skylark. So this, he says, oh, what a sweet company. Company means friendship. Okay, he is not having a close relationship, but with them he feels very happy. So the first paragraph, the tone of the poem is he is very happy here. Okay. So he wants to enjoy all the things that are given by the nature, but that doesn't happen because the prime mode of each of our livelihood is education, and it is the harsh truth. Okay, but this is the next para. But to go to school in a summer morn. So he is very happy to get up early in the morning. So every school child is very happy to get up on a Sunday, but to get up early on a school day, working day, it is very bad. So that is the condition of the schoolboy also, where he says, But to go to school in a summer morn, to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. He says, I love to get up early, but the thought of going to school, all his joy is being driven away, is being taken away from him. You can find in the previous para, you can find the glee that he had when he speaks about getting up in the morning, and he speaks about the sweet company. He is very happy, but here it is just the contrast. So I told you the mood of the poem there, he is very happy, but here he is really sad about going to school. It drives all joy away. So you may get a one marker question. What drives the schoolboy's joy away? The answer is going to school on a summer morn drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye out own. So the cruel eye out own refers to So, the cruel eye here refers to none other than the teacher himself. So, he is happy to be under the with the company of so many people, like the birds chirping on the tree, the huntsman blowing his horn, the skylark. All their company, he feels very happy and glee. But he says, this company of mine is going to drive all the joy away. Whose company? Why is the teacher being given this identity of cruel? Is because, see, you are a student. What do you expect from a teacher? You cannot expect your teacher always to be caring, concerning, not scolding you. You cannot expect that. A teacher by himself, you take up the role of a teacher, you yourself will get into the character of taking the whole thing under your control. So it will be like a CBI officer. A teacher will be like a CBI officer who takes control of everything. Why? Because she or he has to submit to the higher authorities. She is not the supreme, she has somebody else whom she or he has to report. So that is why teachers sometimes tend to be very, not cruel actually, very strict, like a proper mentor to you all. But here, according to the boy, he feels very bad because he is a very small boy. See, you can just imagine, were you very happy on the first day of your school when you were taken to the LKG classes? No, you weren't happy. Maybe first day you were happy, second day you started crying because you yourself will not like being inside, confined into a classroom. You, that is the age where you want to go out. Just recollect your school days and you will understand the plight of the schoolboy. Place yourself in the place of the schoolboy. So he says, going to school, the thought of going to school, he says, all my joy is being driven away. Why? Because he has to be supervised. He is under the control of somebody superior. Who is that? That is the teacher. Cruel eye out own refers to the teacher. The little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. So, how are the little ones spending their days? Sighing. Sighing is nothing but, I will just underline. Okay, sighing here refers to when you are fully fed up, you are angered to the core. That is when you say, I cannot take this anymore. Okay, that he is come to such a extent because he has to every day go to school, come back, every day go to school. He says he feels that he is not given enough time to spend, that he is not given enough time to spend with the nature. That is when the little boy says, or the poet here, these two lines are spoken by the poet, where the poet says, the little ones, the little children spend the day in sighing. Sighing, I told you, when you are angered or you are fed up. Dismay is nothing but you are agonized, you are in complete pain because you are forced to go to school. So I will just repeat. The boy here in the second paragraph is not interested to go to school. He says the thought of going to school is driving away all his joy. Why? Because he is being supervised under a teacher. He is confined into a concrete classroom. Yeah, I will sum up the entire thing from the beginning, okay? So the poem begins with the poet introducing the main character, that is the schoolboy, and the schoolboy starts speaking where he says he loves to rise on a summer morn, I told you, morning. He has a lot of expectations from the nature where he sees the birds on every tree. He sees the huntsman who's enjoying in the nature. He wants to enjoy like them, okay? But it doesn't happen because there is something else coming, the prime mode for our livelihood, that is the education, which is the harsh reality. We have to accept it and we cannot leave it. Then he also says he loves to enjoy the company of the skylark, where he says, oh, it is such a sweet company. But he is reluctant to go to school. Nature is we all know that nature is the best teacher, but can nature nurture him for life? Nature, nurture are two different words. So that's a very big question. Nature can teach us so many things, but can the nature nurture us for our life? No. So the what is important? Going to school is very important. You can also find that the glee when he thinks about the sweet company. He is very happy when he thinks about the sweet companies, but the thought of going to school. He wants to wake up every morning happily, but the very thought of going to school, all his enthusiasm is being drawn away. So what is his expectations there? He loves the summer morning, but something is driving his joy away. That is the teacher. He says the little ones are spending their day in sighing and dismay inside the school where they do not know what to do, but they are forced to sit inside the school. Okay, so this is the explanation of the first two paragraphs in a brief. So what I want you all to do is, in your textbook, if you have, you just write down the meanings and the explanation of the line so that it will be easy for you. I will be giving the summary also, but this way it will help you all. Making small notes will help you all for a better understanding. Okay, with this we come to the end of today's session. Thank you, girls. God bless you. Have a great day ahead.